One interesting thing I saw at Coolmaster's booth at Computex this year was the Master Hub, and I won't lie, that looks quite outstanding. Looked quite outstanding. Now I have it right here, and as you can see, this box doesn't have any graphics, doesn't have anything written on it. So this is definitely something, well, not a pre-production because it's produced. But let's see. First, I'm going to start with the smaller boxes right here because these are some additions. And starting it off, this is going to be interesting. We have some dials which quite cool, I do have to say. So three dials, they do have some resistance to the movement, most likely RGB around it. We'll check that, of course. We have here also some purple part, and this most likely gives you an indication on the orientation, as well as at the back we have, well, you don't see the magnets, but we have a 4-pin connection right here at the back. And in addition, the next box right here, let me just open this, we have a dial, and it also has a tactile feel quite nicely. And I don't know about the RGB, it looks like it has a screen magnet as well at the back, and 4-pin connection right here with the indication of the orientation. This is really good because then you basically, well, you basically know the orientation of the screen and you know the orientation of the dials, so this is quite nice. Right here we have 4 boxes. I think, yeah, 4 boxes. Let's start with the smallest one, which is just a dummy. Then we go with the least smallest one. And this is interesting. And you'll see why. So we have 2 dials, something like volume dials or whatever you want to do with those, because I think we're gonna go into the software and adjust everything. So magnets at the back, 4-pin connection, and everything all together. Then we go with this one. And I'm going this way because I really wanted to show you how and what you can find. These are sliders as an equalizers, and I'm really digging the movement because they have some sort of a resistance, but just like is it a proper equalizer or just I'm not quite sure, but these are quite nice. 5 levers over here, and again magnets with 4-pin connection. So far we're currently at 4 products, and then we go with the final one. Well, basically not the final one, and you'll see why. We have, this has 15 screen dials, Cooler Master logo here at the bottom. We have indication of the orientation, but basically when you have a Cooler Master logo right here, you know the orientation. Magnets at the back, which aren't visible, and 4-pin connection. And the clicks are quite nice, but I have to remove the foil and I'll leave it at the end just before we go into other details. Finally, let's see this. So this is the main plate, let's call it this way. Oh wow, let's see everything we have inside this box, and then we're gonna go into details, and no instruction manual or anything. So yeah, here we have USB Type-C to USB Type-C, 90 angle on one side, 90-degree angle on one side, and regular Type-C on the other. We have here indication for vertical and horizontal line, and we have loads of connections right here. Cooler Master Hub at the top, 2 USB Type-C connections here, 2 USB Type-C connections here on the left side, and that's basically it. That's basically it. We don't have anything else. Yeah, we do. This is it. This is what I was looking for. So you get a rubberized stand, which kind of attaches magnetically. You have 2 dentins, one for vertical and one for horizontal, so you get it a bit risen up. Is it enough? Maybe it isn't, but what I will suggest is, and I think they have that, is a magnetic stand that puts the Master Hub in this more angled position. But this is if it's somewhere close to you, and this is quite all right, I think. So let me just show you straight now how can you manage this. So let's go with horizontal position. First of all, let's see how this fits perfectly. Then we're gonna go with the slim one, quite logical. And this one can go right here. If for some reason you don't need these because they're in an awkward position, usually what you would do is you would place them like so. You can go with these. That's it. Quite strong magnets, I do have to admit. And basically, you have everything here. You have these dials. You can, of course, adjust those. So, for instance, you want to swap them up and place this one right here. And then you can place this one right here. The indication on the top means that this purple part needs to go in the top left corner. So, for instance, let me just show you instantly. If you desire to go in vertical position, let's put this at the bottom. Let's put this at the top. And this gives you an option to adjust it as such, vertical position. And as you can see, all purple parts are at the top. So removing those, you can add this. It really fixates perfectly. This is great. This is really good, and I'm really digging this. So as I stated, you could place this rubber part at the top. It doesn't give that much angle when we're working, because this flat out really doesn't make any sense, but placing it as such, it kind of brings it to a different perspective, let's put it this way. So what's it all about? MasterHub is what they say a modular revolution because it gives you more into creativity. And this is a modular control system for streamers, creators, and innovators in general. You can adjust everything for your stream. You can adjust everything for your creating. If you're doing some picture adjustment, if you're doing some video adjustment, or whatever you're doing, basically you can do this with this MasterHub ecosystem. So it basically creates a new standard of creating creative controls. Because if you compare this to any other hubs in these terms, you won't get the modularity and the possibility to swap things around. What it has and the way it connects, they call it a pogo pin technology, which has a built-in magnets and ensures effortless attachment, which you already saw. And when I flipped it around, it doesn't fall. So you can easily remove the modules, but they won't fall, as you saw, making a configuration change quite easy and swift. So who is this for? What they stated and what they give information towards is streamers, content creators, and PC enthusiasts and gamers. So for streamers, this could be quite nice for live broadcast streaming, or basically management of your live stream. Seamless integrations, where streamers often use various plugins, software for their broadcasts. You can customize the keys and displays, which enables seamless integrations with streaming software, making it easier basically to manage everything. And of course, real time adjustment during the live streams that can be usually stressful, and you don't want to make any mistakes. Well, most likely don't want to make any additional mistakes or unnecessary mistakes during your streams. This gives you intuitive controls, displays, adjustment, and well, basically to make that smooth streaming experience. Then we go to the content creator. So workflow management, this is also quite important, gives you a possibility to juggle around multiple software applications and tools, and consolidate control into a single customizable interface such as this one. Efficiency, productivity also comes in play, because if you program the Master Hub to your needs and what you need to do and what you really like doing in terms of the workflow, and to make it easier for you, like adjusting the dials to adjust the brightness, the colors, the anything similar to that. When you're doing that, adjust the buttons to open applications instantly, screen adjustment, or just listening to some audio and adjusting the volume, or faders to adjust that part as well. This is also quite handy and cool, and gives you some precision and control, right? And then we go with PC enthusiasts and gamers, which gives you an option to configure your setup in terms of system monitoring, gaming performance, quick access in game commands, shortcuts can be significantly appreciated when accessing or improving gaming performance and stuff like that, programmable keys, responsive controls, and similar stuff. Basically, MasterHub's most important role is the ability to adapt and expand, providing you a truly personalized control system. Now, comparing it to Elgato Stream Deck and Loop Deck, this which come with basically a fixed configuration, you have a modular design. What happens here is that, for instance, Stream Deck has, I think these are 15 buttons as well. Cooler Master has it as well. Loop Deck has more options when we're comparing it to Stream Deck, but it's also fixed, right? You have, as I noticed, 6 dials, additional couple of buttons at the bottom, and 15 additional buttons. So it all comes down to modularity. And I know I've been saying this in loads of my videos, but modularity to adjust everything is insane. And the Master Hub includes high resolution IPS displays, precision controls with advanced tactile feel, which is, as I stated, quite nice. And I do have to say, turning on the dials, it's really nice feel, giving you some sort of a control because you know you switched and you moved something. Now let's go with some specifications regarding the modules and everything before we go into the actual Master Hub. So 190 times 126.5 times 16.5 millimeters. When we're talking about the dimensions connector, we have 4 Type C and 30 pogo pins. So this is insane, I have to admit. Rated voltage is 5 volts and the safety current is 400 milliamperes. That the 15 one, the 15 screen one, has 2 times 1.5 module. And I'll tell you why. Because this is one, let's say, module size, right? So you can see that. And when you add the two rollers, it's basically 1.5. And this is what I was talking about, right? So 1.5, 1.5. And then we have this one. This is 1 times 1. It kind of makes sense because when you take a look at it, this is a half module, and that's it. This is 1 times 2, and this is 1.5 times 2. Basically, gives you more idea about the whole configuration. So when you take into consideration the base module, you have 2 times 3 when we're talking about the dimensions, because you can basically place this anywhere. As you can see, this is really modular. This is insane. Let's give it an idea. If you're a gamer, streamer, and I don't know, content creator, let's put it all together in this. So you have a different configuration for each of your segments, right? So for gaming, you have I don't know, the volume adjustment, you have these two knobs for volume mixing, and you have additional parts here for quick accessing, I don't know, or just quick actions inside the game. That's the one thing. For content creation, you'll still have 15 button dial, but then you just might remove this one and add this two. Let's put it like so, okay? And if you desire to go with some sort of a content creation in terms of editing your videos or production or similar stuff like that, and you need something for audio adjustment, if you need 5 fader module, you're going to place this, of course, if you need to adjust that. But if you don't need that, you can definitely go there. And the thing about everything is that you can do sets of individual stuff all together and adjust it as you wish. Okay, guys, so this is really straightforward. Basically, what you do is, let's do it from the beginning. You have vertical and horizontal position. And the good thing is that the Master Hub application actually automatically recognizes the position of the Master Hub base module. And the thing is, as you can see, you have all of these pins that are used for connections. So, for instance, if we go with the horizontal option, the thing is, you have a certain way of mounting things. So this would be logical. These faders would be logical to be placed as such. So if you place them like this to get more space for, I don't know, for these 15 buttons, then you'll have to do it like so, or you'll have to do it like this. In other words, what you could manage here, and I know this would be much better if it was like a square shape, just it recognizes the 15 key IPS display currently on this position. It doesn't recognize it here. I don't know why, because the connection was direct on these 4 pins. And then the only thing that you have left here is the 2 rollers that can go up here on top. Then when we go further, as I stated, this is the indication that it needs to go to the top left side, so you don't miss or anything, miss a line or whatever. You could place this actually on the top right here, and the 3 knobs, I would suggest placing them as such, because you'll be most likely fiddling around with this. And here you can see it's actually touch, so you can adjust the timer, the brightness. It depends what you place inside the master hub. And then you have the possibility to adjust the brightness, because the wheel is actually for that. And also, when you go inside the master hub, you have an option to adjust. Let's see, you have the master hub, you have the system, OBS Studio, master control, and Streamlabs desktop. So this gives you an option for the audio mixer. Now let's go with the master hub. You have brightness and timer, which we set already here on this knob. As already stated, since it has a button here, and since this is some sort of a glass, you will have stains here eventually. But let's see the system. So we have undo, we have switch desktop, we have media fast forward, backward, media track control, volume control, zoom in out, and scroll up down hotkey. So what I did with these two up on the top, we have zoom in and out and volume control. This is actually quite cool, because it actually gives you an option to adjust the volume which automatically goes inside the windows, and it actually functions as such. And the zoom in and zoom out, I'm just going to do it slightly, because here you can see I'm going to reset that back to the original position. And then we have here some other stuff. So for instance, if I decide to press this, this will take me directly to my YouTube. Okay. Now, if I decide to press this one, it goes directly to my Instagram profile. It's all up to personal preferences. Then we have AIDA64, what I place. So you can place applications, you can place websites. Then, for instance, Steam, what I placed here, this is, let's see, this is screen capture, play pause. You have some sort of a music adjustment, and you have here some other 3 knobs that you can adjust individually. Of course, it's quite logical. You can also play zoom in, scroll up, scroll down, volume control, and stuff like that. When we go into this 15 key IPS display, now this is really cool. You can do literally everything, but don't be distracted with undo, switch desktop, and all the other stuff right here, play audio, screen capture. If you decide to open something like app or files, you just drag and drop it here. This gives you an option to adjust the title, because you can have it written over here, and you can select the app file. So you press it, you press here, and then it goes directly to your my PC, which gives you an option to choose basically whatever application or file you want to open with this. So for instance, you have some spreadsheet that you're doing, for instance, for workflow, you have a spreadsheet that it needs to be updated regularly. You just press it here, it opens up immediately and stuff like that. The same thing goes with YouTube and Instagram. So it's quite easy to use and easy to modify. Now, the one thing with adding the text, it's quite clear. As you can see, you can write whatever you wish, but there is a limit. So for instance, if I go with YouTube and I place all caps, you won't be able to, let me just show you, you won't be able to see everything on the screen. So here we go. I placed YouTube, you press save, and the E letter isn't visible because it takes out too much space. But if you don't go with all caps, then the whole YouTube is visible. So yeah, you can go with shortcuts, something that means to you, that's something that you'll understand and stuff like that. Now, let me just show you something else. Removing it, straightforward. Application Master Hub recognizes literally everything that you do. So removing it constantly, there we go. And here we have horizontal and vertical position. So I'm just going to flip this back on top here. It obviously has a gyro because it immediately recognized that I flipped it. And for instance, I want to switch the USB to be in a different position. Of course, it's going to mention no device connected. Please connect the master hub via the USB cable. So it recognized it. Everything's perfect. Let's go. So, for instance, I want to use the faders, right? There we go. You place the faders. I need to lock it in a bit. Oh, I placed it in the wrong position. Sorry, my bad. This wasn't expected. So yeah, here is what I was talking about. So basically all the faders, you can see in the application, in the Master Hub, how you're adjusting them. So you actually have the visualization of the position of each fader, which is kind of cool. And there is an individual LED in each of those. So if you lower down at the top, you won't see any LED. That's really good. If you desire to crank it up, it powers up the LED completely. So as you can see, all of them are up. There we go. None of them they are seen. And it really doesn't matter. Now, next, let's, for instance, go with this one, right? 15 key IPS display, and then the only space that we have is for the rollers. This could be something for content creators, audio mixers, and stuff like that. Even though I know some or audio editors, for instance, would most likely go with these ones. So that kind of goes into that segment where we don't have space to have one more to place right here, which would be quite cool because obviously they would use these, right? So either remove this one, place this one here, maybe even add this one additionally, this one here, and remove this one because you can add separately additional faders right here. So this will give you an option to really modify it as you wish. Unfortunately, because the connection right here is at the bottom, I'm not quite sure if this is even possible. Of course it isn't. I'm just trying something, that's it. Let's see this position. So if I remove the faders, place them here, and if I go with this here, let's see if it will work. It will work. Wow. This is great, guys. This is actually great because you can extend it, but the problem is then in the Master Hub, you won't be able to see all the buttons. You could press them because you have 15 of them, but you won't be able to see the details. That's the only downside. That's the only downside, but you can use it. And let's see if I press something. Okay, here we go with the screen capture. That works perfectly. Play pause. Please set file, of course. Yeah, logical. But it works. It works like this because you can extend it. The only problem will be that in the Master Hub, you won't be able to see the lower part, the lower segment of these ones. So definitely I would suggest something else. So let's remove the faders and create what I started with this one. Here we go, something like this. That's it. Maybe even, I would even go because you'll be most likely using shortcuts more, something like this. This looks kind of cool. And here we go. Let me show you something else, what you could do here. You can just simply go with settings and go to LCD, which you can choose images, CPU temperature, GPU temperature, CPU usage, GPU usage, or simply just use a clock. Let's see that. There we go. But you can immediately adjust the brightness. So for instance, you're adjusting the brightness for the whole Master Hub and going back, and that's it. So LEDs are on the knobs, LEDs are on the faders, and you don't have any LEDs indication on these two for the volume control or zoom in, zoom out, depends on how you adjust it. And you don't have any RGBs here. The cool thing is that it would be nice if, for instance, let's see if you could multitasking. Oh yeah, that was for multitasking. Yeah, forget that. But you can paint that. Let's see. So you can adjust the text color. You can adjust the color of the icon as well. That's really outstanding. What else you could do? You can add the background Here we go. Now we're talking about something. So you can even adjust the font size. Let's see the medium size, alignment, and text color, save, and let's see the text test, how it shows. Yeah, okay. So you're going to most likely change the colors because I just went with random adjustments. The possibilities are really endless. So let's conclude this because I can talk this for hours. All in all, what's there left to say? You saw everything in the MasterHub software, which gives you loads of options. I mean, you can definitely go really bonkers, as I already said, and modify literally everything to your liking. You can go individually to adjust everything, and you can even adjust the pictures inside. You can add the background, you can change the icons, you can change the text, you can change all the colors, you can add links, you can add websites, you can, I mean, it's insane. Application files. This thing is great. Volume wheels, zoom in, zoom out. The adjustment, you can place a clock, you can place CPU. I mean, I've shown you everything. You've seen everything. This thing is outstanding, and the modularity of it and the possibilities. I mean, unfortunately, this thing is also cool, but this comes in a different segment where I would, in that scenario, if you're using it for audio mixing, remove this one and place two of these and two of these. I mean, this is kind of logical because then you have loads of options to adjust, and I don't know. I think this is something that will definitely be usable in more than any other. I mean, I've saw other, I didn't use them personally, but I saw other as a Stream Deck and Loop Deck and all the other hubs, let's call them hubs, such as this one. But the modularity and possibility to adjust everything is just unbelievable. And if you don't want these two, you can just place these. The possibilities are honestly endless because you can swap them around. The application recognizes it immediately when you plug it in via USB Type C. The good thing about the 90 degrees, you can really adjust it and you don't have to do any plug in, plug out, and all the other stuff. You can just unplug it or rotate it, rotate the cable, plug it back in, remove the parts on the go, like I would say hot swappable, something like that, right? So this is something that is definitely I wouldn't say outstanding. It's definitely something that, well, to shorten it up, PC Crazy approved badge without a doubt, and PC Crazy creative badge. Because, okay, we have similar stuff on the market, right? But there's no possibility you can find anything similar to this when we're talking about possibility to switch everything and everything that I mentioned. So this is why you get these two badges, and this kind of explains everything about Cooler Master Master Hub. The gadgets, the accessories, the endless possibilities. This is just something wow, and big thumbs up to Cooler Master for some bringing something on the table that will definitely help either your workflow, either your gaming, either your streaming, easing up your the whole process of whatever you're doing, and give you ease of access to loads of commands. Let's call them commands. I'm thinking about literally everything here that you can find. The one thing that is missing, and it's not missing inside the box, but it's an additional accessory, is not only using this rubber part at the back. It all depends on the angle that you want your master hub to be, but there will be additional angled part, something like this, but not acryl, not in acryl. It's going to be definitely something more with a magnet because this isn't stable. This is just something for showing you guys in front of the camera. But if we're talking about something that will have a stand with a bit more angle, there will be, and it's going to be done much nicer than the actual showcase acryl that I have right here. So yeah, that's it, guys. I don't know when this will be available. Most likely somewhere in mid of September, if I'm not mistaken. That's it, guys. That's all that I can say. Of course, I could talk for about this for hours because loads of options, loads of customization, and big thumbs up. That's all I can say. If you like the video and this is something that you would like to see on your desk, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, because, well, I gave you an idea, right? And that will be all for today, guys. Thanks for sticking by. See you next time.